takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The KFH Studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic conditions looking good so far this morning. We do have some heavy traffic northbound on Oliver, and it's between MacArthur and 31st. Traffic update from 98.7 at 1330 KNSS in the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center. I'm Jad Chambers.
Weather. Showers and thunderstorms gradually making a return later on today. A couple of strong to severe storms going to be a possibility by later on this evening. Mostly cloudy skies, mild high of 70 degrees with light winds only at 5 to 15 miles an hour. With your Storm Track 3 forecast, I'm meteorologist Ronald Williams.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Another wild night in the association as the OKC Thunder bounce back from that Game 3 beatdown. Minnesota put on them to grind out a tough Game 4 win and take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Minnesota isn't beating the best team in the league 3 straight times. And while I'm not going to put this all on Anthony Edwards, when you're a generational talent, face of the franchise, and potential future face of the league, and you only get up 13 shots for the second time in the series in a loss, all eyes on you, Ant-Man. What they needed was for you to put them on your back and send this thing back to OKC, tied up at 2 games apiece. If you want to be that guy, then be that guy. Do what generational talents do. Impose your will, take over that game, and choke OKC out in your own crib. Because that's exactly what the league MVP, SGA, will be looking to do to you tomorrow night. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on the X platform at Jim Rome. The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROME. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You don't have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome into Sports Daily on KFH. I'm Tommy Castro. Jacob Albrock will be joining us momentarily here on the program. Max Power producing the show. The KFH hotline is open all morning for you at 869-1240. We appreciate you listening, however it is that you consume the program, whether it's live here on KFH, on the free Odyssey app and podcast version. Maybe you're watching the program on one of our many ways to consume the show with our video stream on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, also on the 12 News Connected app. Multiple different ways to join the program. You can also leave your video comments on our video stream as well. We can get to those as the show goes on any one of those social media sharing sites. You can definitely consume and leave your comments there on the show as well. I had to get the show started this morning because Jacob had a wardrobe malfunction this morning.
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot it was Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Max sends me a text. I look at our video chat room and Tommy's got on a Hawaiian.
I figured I would throw you a bone, figuring, like every once in a while, throw you a bone and, let you know I'm not totally opposed to Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. I only own one. This is the only one I have.
Well, it's easy. You do laundry once a week. You just wear it every Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear the same shirt every Wednesday. That doesn't work for me.
Well, listen, you can get more. Appreciate the now I'm out of breath. I've been running around trying to grab one real quick. Good news for me is I have about, 15, 20 of these bad boys. So we got it there. Thank you for participating in Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody. I assume Max has on his tie-dye, which is his version of which is his version of a Hawaiian shirt. And we're here to celebrate on Sports Daily. We are wide open for you today, as Tommy was mentioning there. So get your comments in. We got some fun stuff to talk about. The Shockers, Tommy, add a new assistant coach that has local ties that will be very interesting to hear about for a lot of people. We'll get into that. You had Jonathan India. You had Brady Singer's return to Kansas City last night, I should call it. I think it'll be fun. It's not. Let's look at the trade, basically, right? India versus Singer. India had a couple of hits, but we can revisit the trade as India comes back to Kansas City. Royals lose that game last night, which is far more concerning. Now threatening to fall to or below 500 pretty quickly if they're not careful here. So we'll get into all of that today as we make our way through the show. What is today? Wednesday? Happy hump day, everybody. How are you this morning, Tommy?
I'm good. Short week. It's one of those weeks when you've got Monday off and you go through the entire week like, what day is today? Is today Tuesday? Is today Wednesday?
Hence the Hawaiian shirt issue, the wardrobe malfunction this morning. I was not thinking of today as a Wednesday at all. Not at all.
And everything on my schedule this week has snuck up on me. Like I totally have forgotten about things that I've got going on this entire week. We kick off River Festival this weekend and
this weekend?
Yeah, it starts on Friday. River Festival gets going on Friday. I'm a judge for the Sundown Parade this year. I did it last year. I guess I did a good enough job. They're asking me to come back. So I'll be downtown judging the River Festival Parade. It should be beautiful weather, but if you're downtown for the parade, come by, say hello. I don't know if you knew this about me, Jacob, but I've got an innate ability to be able to accurately judge parade floats. That's something I'm really good at, apparently, because this is the second year in a row that I'm judging a parade.
There you go. I don't know that I have that skill, so I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you talk about sneaking up. They're going to get great weather, though. We're going to get rain tonight. It'll stay cloudy through Thursday, and then finally we'll see some sunshine Friday and into the weekend. So Riverfest is usually going to get rained on, so that's a little upside down. They're going to get incredible weather. Yes, Max.
Thank you, Ronell.
Yeah, Ronell Williams with our forecast there on all of that.
More of a Ross Jansen guy.
I'm also speaking of TV. I'm putting on my TV hat tonight as well. I will be on PBS Kansas on their on their pledge drive. So I'll be hosting that tonight.
Hey, wifey works there.
Oh, I'll say hello. Say hello to her for you.
I think she'll be there.
Yeah. So I'll take a page out of your book. I know you'll be on TV today as usual, but I'm gonna rarely every once in a while they ask me to be on TV, so I'll be asking people for their pledges and their money.
It's a crazy. It is a crazy week. Let's lose track of time. I've got to travel for some meetings this week. I think you have Brandon tomorrow.
I do.
So it is an upside down week. I know it is for a lot of people. Holiday weeks do that to you when you lose that Monday. But we're here. We're ready to rock and roll now. We've got our best Hawaiians on. I don't know if this is my best Hawaiian. It's Tommy's best Hawaiian. It's his only Hawaiian.
The only Hawaiian I have.
So we're ready to celebrate. The NBA finals roll through. Are we about to have like the lowest market, smallest market NBA finals of all time? Are we about to have the smallest market major sports championship of all time among any sports? We're about to have the Pacers and the Thunder in the NBA finals. The people that love to just stare at ratings for these things are going to have a panic attack here, and that make way too much of that stuff are going to have a panic attack. We're about to have Pacers Thunder in the NBA finals. I would love to see the futures bet on that. Right, the Thunder were expected; they were one of the favorites this year. The Pacers were not. Like if there is a Pacers Thunder ticket out there, I'd love to see what that paid out at the beginning of the year. So it's not done yet. It's not done yet, but it's probably done, right? Like it's not done, but it's done, as our pal Jim Rome loves to, always kind of say. It's like it's not over, but it's over. So we'll see how that plays out. The Pacers and their star, very good last night. I can't believe they're up 3-1 in that series. I thought they had a chance, but I didn't know it was going to be as dominated as it was. I thought, that's pretty crazy. Important.
Yeah, I mean, I think
they go again.
I think the Pacers have just proven that, from top to bottom, they're a more talented team, and they've got the ability to be able to put their foot on the gas. And then it doesn't mean that the Knicks, that they're not in a position moving forward to be, I think, a force in the Eastern Conference, because I think that they are. Jalen Brunson has shown that he's clutch enough that they can win games, simply because of his abilities. But I think the Pacers from top to bottom have just shown that they're a better basketball team.
I mean, there's no doubt in this series. Certainly, they've been playing the better brand of basketball in this series. We don't have Sharice Latta today. He is still out, so we will wait one more week to get the latest from him on what's going on with KU, which is nothing right now. Nothing is going on with KU, which is maybe what some people aren't super comfortable with. But we'll get into that when we come back, though. Brady Singer makes his return to Kansas City last night. All the fun and fanfare that you'd expect. Royals fans were great to him. Everything, all nostalgic there, but the outcome certainly not where the Royals wanted. Let's revisit that Brady Singer versus Jonathan India trade a little bit when we come back. And probably more importantly, we'll dig into the concern level for the Royals, who are getting real close to falling below 500 here. And they're about to enter a stretch of games on their schedule that are brutal. We've been telling you, like, the schedule does not favor them here in the month of June. We'll come back. We'll have it at Sports Daily. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody. We're coming right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless.
Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Everybody, happy Wednesday to you. Glad to be here with you. Boy, you want to know you're out of shape? When the start of the show comes, you got to run up and down the stairs, change shirts, and you're still trying to catch your breath. We're talking, I don't know, 60, 70 feet probably. We're just two models of fitness here on Sports Daily. These Hawaiians make us look like models of fitness.
I mean, I'm sure that the female population is tuning in droves to watch us in our Hawaiian shirts today.
I'm a little nervous about these days. We're married, ladies. We're married, okay? Let's just settle down out there on the video streams on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. Thanks for watching us, everybody, here on Sports Daily. All right, let's talk some Royals here. So it was kind of a fun, thing before it started. Brady Singer coming back to Kansas City, fun until the game happens and the Royals don't play very well again. Brady Singer was good. Brady Singer was very good in the game. He kind of shut him down a little bit there, Tommy. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Kind of did his Brady Singer thing, allowed some hits, no big deal. Navigated through it. He's very familiar with that start exactly in Kansas City. That's kind of what he did for a long time for the Royals. But he's always going to have a nice place in Royals fans' hearts, I think, because of all of the players. He was the one that was kind of the only one there for a while through that class. Now, of course, we see Chris Bubich being awesome and Daniel Lynch doing pretty well, but Brady Singer was it. Then they traded for Jonathan India. Old school baseball trade. Both teams needed something. Both teams had an excess they felt like of something. They swapped them 1 for 1. Well, if we revisit that trade, the reality is it hasn't been great for either team. Neither has a WAR above 1 right now, Tommy. They're both negative WAR players. Brady Singer came into the game, he leaves the game, I should say, with a 4.88 ERA right now. And Jonathan India is certainly not performing at the level that the Royals anticipated yet when they got him. He is still getting on base a little bit, not to the clip that they traded for, certainly, but he's batting .227. No power to speak of. He's not there yet. We've seen flashes, but he's not there yet. So I don't know that you can look at it and say either team won or lost the trade yet, because neither player has really just been out of this world this year. So probably it's a pretty fair trade, honestly. Like they both. Now, you could also look at it from the Royals' perspective and say, would they like to have Brady Singer right this second? Probably, because they have 2 pitchers on the IL. But they also have Noah Cameron up. Maybe he wouldn't be in that scenario. But I don't think I don't think there is a win. I think right now it looks like it looked when they made the trade and both teams added a position of need, and neither player is running away with this thing.
Yeah, I think it's a wash right now. And I don't know if, I think you could say that both teams got what they needed to get, with both of their players. And it doesn't mean that either one of them are performing at a top level, but it certainly means that both of those guys are filling holes that, the teams needed at that time. I mean, the Royals absolutely had to have a leadoff hitter, somebody consistent. And even though he's only batting .227 right now, he has filled a role in the leadoff spot where game in and game out who's going to be leading off a ball game. And he's been able to get on base at a decent clip. That could be better, but I think you also have to look at it from the perspective of what they were trotting out there in the leadoff spot a year ago, where it was an automatic out at leadoff a year ago with all the different players that, tried to fill in at the leadoff spot. And so having consistency there, I think is important. And so the Royals were able to get what they needed out of Jonathan India. You would like to see him hit for a better average. You'd like to see him drive in more runs, score more runs, all of that. And then Brady Singer, like the Royals right this second, they may have Lugo and Reagans on the IL, but I think overall they feel pretty confident in their pitching rotation as they should.
They do. And it's really interesting because neither player is up to even their own sort of average, right? India's been better than what they had last year. He's 20 points below his career OBP, but he's been better than what they had last year for sure. I think the part of that is like Maikel Garcia. Remember when they made that trade? No, Maikel Garcia wasn't even going to be an everyday starter, right? So they absolutely needed that spot, and neither player is up to their average. So it's just kind of the same, right? It's just kind of both players are helping their teams. And if both players get to where they are normally in their careers, they're really going to help their teams. But Brady Singer gets the last laugh yesterday. Again, hadn't been a stellar year. It's been a Singer-like year, though. He'll have some really, really nice starts, and then he'll have some where he gives up the hits and they just fall, and his ERA will balloon up for that game. So, and Jonathan India is kind of the same. I mean, both of these players, honestly, had a reputation of inconsistency throughout their careers, right? Both had high expectations. Both were high picks, both all these things, both have flashed, both have had even seasons where they look like they were going to hit there. And then it's just been inconsistent. So I think both teams are fine with it. I think both teams would do the trade again, honestly, if given the opportunity. I think they'd, even with the injuries, I think the Royals would do it again because they've seen reserves come up and help them. So there's your opportunity for that. I don't think we're going to get that opportunity again to look at that trade head to head that way. But old school baseball trade. There you go. Singer gets the last laugh yesterday. The Royals lose 7-2. It was the bullpen game. I don't know what the expectations for people were. It was John Schreiber who got hit the hardest in the game for the Royals. And, whatever. I wish that it didn't feel as daunting as it does when you are, throwing out a bullpen game in the middle of a series against a pretty good team. The reality is it means they'll lose now 5 of their last 6 series as they play it. And they continue to not play particularly well lately. And in a 4-team race in the Central or an even larger field in the American League, at some point, I think we need to become concerned. I don't know if it needs to be right now. I honestly don't. But when you look at the schedule and you see Detroit, St. Louis, the Yankees, the A's, the Rangers, the Padres, the Dodgers, Seattle, all coming up this month, I think we could crank up that concern level from where it's been, just because they've got to now navigate this while they're not playing well. It's going to be tough.
Well, I think the biggest fear is kind of starting to come true a little bit. And I know yesterday was a bullpen game, but we saw it on Monday with Michael Lorenzen as well, where the pitching is not living up to what
it's not going to be perfect.
It's not going to, and it can't be, right? And like as the season goes on, especially when you're taking on teams that are pretty solid offensive teams, and you listed off a handful of them, like the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Padres, and even a couple of other teams in there. Detroit has hit the ball really well. Like that becomes a concern if the pitching cannot be as stellar, as lights out as it was a month ago. Part of that is the injuries at the top of the rotation, but part of that is just, I think the reality that it's really, really hard for a rotation to maintain the level of performance that we've seen thus far. And so all along we've been saying, hey, if the pitching starts to drop off a little bit, if it comes back down to earth slightly, you've got to have the offense take a step forward. You've got to have them balance that out a little bit. And we've not seen that. We've seen the pitching tail off a little bit recently. Chris Bubic notwithstanding, he's looked phenomenal, and Noah Cameron's looked great too. But we've not seen the offense come in to pick up the pitching. It's been the other way around this entire season. Now we need to see the bats come alive to be able to help pick up the pitching when it's not, when it's performing at a game, at a level like we saw in last night's game, where it was a warning game and they weren't able to do that.
The warning signs for this have been blaring for a month and a half. I mean, it's just like, it's not sustainable. What we were seeing through the win streak, even, it's like, okay, this is awesome. It is absolutely not sustainable. Like, they're not going to keep winning games like this, scoring 2 and 3 runs a game. Not going to happen. Like, it doesn't happen for any team. It's not going to happen for the Royals. No, I'll make a bold prediction for you. Noah Cameron, in a best case scenario, isn't going to finish this year with an ERA under 1, right? Like, that's not going to happen. Chris Bubic is not going to finish this season with an ERA of 145. I think both of these are incredible stories. They're not sustainable, though. And so, these guys, Chris Bubic could absolutely contend for a Cy Young, but he's not going to be as effective as he's been out of the gates for the entire season. I'll eat crow all day if Chris Bubic finishes this year with a 145 ERA, but it's not going to happen. So, we have to leave some room for these guys to not have to be that pitcher all the time. We're seeing it already. The offense has to help them. Now, Salvi, Vinny are picking up the pace a little bit, right? Vinny didn't have a good game last night. Salvi had a hit, but overall, those averages are climbing. Vinny's all the way up to 255. It's okay. It's not like panic time, but the level of concern we should have for the Royals is higher than it was. The bullpen hasn't been as lights out as it was. Again, wasn't probably sustainable what they were giving them during that win streak, playing bad teams. Like,
and by the way, Bobby is slumping a little bit too. He's not
for
hit
sure.
well in the last couple of games. His average has dropped to 289 when he had been consistently over the 300 mark. And he did get on base once last night, but he's not hitting, the ball, quite like what we had saw earlier in the year either.
Yeah, and that'll come, and he's it's all going to come, I think, offensively. I think and look, here's the other, and I didn't even realize this per our conversation yesterday with Jalen Thompson. Apparently, Cags is playing the outfield in AAA a lot, so that will make you feel better, right? If you know that you can plug him in whenever it is that the Royals are ready to plug him in, and you can also have Vinny Salvi in the lineup every day, and now Cags maybe only has to be your 6 or 7 hole hitter. That makes that transition even easier on him too. So there's reinforcements coming. The question is more to me, like, in this tight race, will they be good enough? And I think that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's, of course, the top area that you need to take an eye on. And it's really, the bottom line is the competition in your division first and foremost. And, we saw them scratch out one game against the Twins over the weekend, but you've got Detroit coming up. And man, I'll tell you what, like, if we thought playing the Twins on the road in Minnesota was going to be difficult, wait until you're taking on the team that's got the best record in Major League Baseball in your division. It certainly does not get any easier at all for the Royals. And you've got to have a little bit of compensation, because like we've talked about, we've started to see some cracks in the foundation a little bit, and that foundation has been dominant and stellar starting pitching, and the offense doing just enough to scratch out wins. And as you mentioned, that's just not sustainable, especially against some of the top teams in the league.
They're 7 games back. It is May still. They're in 4th place in the division. They are now out of the wild card, because they would be, it'd be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. They'd be out of the wild card today, because Houston is now all of a sudden heating up, and they're on their record is better. So you'd be looking at Yankees, Tigers, Mariners, Twins, Guardians, Houston. Like, Kansas City's now they're now on the outside looking in. That's like, you got to, and again, this would all be fine if they weren't about to play the schedule they're about to play in the month of June. And it really, like, if you look up and down, like, it gets better in July, certainly, but not that much better. Like, there aren't enough bad teams in the American League for you to ever look at another stretch like you had there when they got on that win streak, where you're going to play consistently just a bunch of bad teams in a row. There are barely bad teams in the league. There just aren't very many. There's like 2. You've got the White Sox that are really bad, and you've got the Orioles that are really bad right now. Are you going to say that the Angels at 4 games under 500 are really bad right now? No. Like, the A's are, I suppose you could say, a really bad team. I don't subscribe to that. They're not very good, but I wouldn't say they're really bad. They're just, you're not going to have a stretch like that where you can go through and be like, oh, okay, here, all right, sigh of relief here. We're about to play a week of games against Sebastian. It just doesn't happen the rest of the way. The Royals now are basically only playing playoff caliber teams pretty much every series the rest of the season.
Yeah, and look, I think that knowing that the schedule is the way that it is, and then also knowing what they have waiting for them in AAA to be called up in Jack Caglione. I mean, I've been a believer all along that the Royals have needed to be patient with Cags and let him get his feet underneath him in AAA and not rush the development and not let the burning needs of the big league club influence what they do. I mean, I felt that all along, but then I've also felt like, yeah, the current lineup, it's going to come along and they're going to start to score some runs to, maybe where Cags isn't quite as desperately needed. And that hasn't happened. And so knowing the way that the offense continues to sputter along as far as scoring runs is concerned, also knowing what their schedule entails in the month of June, and that leads me to believe, like, I'm more on the bandwagon of let's go ahead and get Cags called up now. I mean, as quickly as possible now, in advance of this really tough stretch in the month of June, because this month I think can make or break the postseason prospects for the Royals for sure, based on who they're playing. They need reinforcements, and Cags is hitting the cover off the baseball right now. And I think that, unfortunately, I don't think the Royals quite have the luxury to be able to let Cags get his feet wet in the big leagues first and dip his toe in the water. You're getting thrown right into the fire, which is not ideal, but it might be necessary.
I think it's fine. I will say, if he's going to play some outfield, which is what they should have been doing, like I'm okay with being patient with that for a week or two. I'm also okay with making sure you don't lose that year of service time. That, again, you can't go, like when we're talking about a year of free agency, if you project him out and all, like, you can't lose that if you're a small market team. That and as frustrating as that is, and the Royals, again, would never say this or anything else, that's absolutely the reality for this franchise. Like, you can't do that. So they do have to be careful. And then the part of it is like, yeah, if you're going to teach them how to play outfield, do that in AAA. That's okay. How about this for you, Tommy? You're just looking at the schedule. How many times in the next 8 games, 8, do you think the Royals will face a pitcher with an ERA basically above 3.50?
One time.
Twice. So, like, again, like, you look at that and you're like, man, this offense, which is already struggling, in 6 of their next 8 games are going to go up against good starting pitching. That's not promising when you look at it based on what we've seen lately. It's just not. So continue to hope that Vinny and Salvi can wake up and start driving in runs like crazy like they did a year ago, that Bobby turns it around, you get the middle of the lineup back, and just kind of cross your fingers, hold your breath, clench the butts, and hope that the Royals can just kind of hang on before they can get some reinforcements in here, because they're going to need some reinforcements. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They do. Yeah. They need them back.
And look, you absolutely have to have today's game. You have to. I mean, you can't get swept by the Reds at home. You want to talk about deflating.
They go up against Hunter Green tonight.
And I'm just, if you can, I know they're not going to win the series, obviously, after last night, but you've got to at least salvage a game at home at Kauffman against a team that, Terry Francona's got them playing well, but it's not like they're not a world beater, that they're not probably a World Series contender. You've got to at least get one of these games from the Reds tonight at home. You can't let them sweep at Kauffman.
I believe they have the same record as the Royals, I think, right now, after last night's win. So, this is the joy of good baseball. You get really frustrated and anxious, and thankfully we've had that for the Royals, but it'll be a little dicey until they get those reinforcements there, through getting your starting pitching back from the IL, through getting Cags called up, and then probably through doing whatever it is that they're going to do at the trade deadline. Hopefully they don't fall out of it before then and then decide they're not going to be aggressive. That's probably the biggest danger, is a bad couple of weeks here, and they all of a sudden they're like, well, maybe we should sell. God, that'd be a bummer. Rick says he's disappointed in Tommy for acquiescing to this Hawaiian shirt day. Rick, I'll die a happy man when you send us a picture of you in a Hawaiian shirt. Cheer up. It's Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday.
Let's not get used to it. This is a one-time, like every once in a while, I'll throw you a bone.
It's contagious. People are gonna smile at you. It's gonna be the best day of your life. We're coming back. More Sports Daily right after this.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless.
Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily here on KFH. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor. It's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to all those who celebrate. It's a great day. Not great day for Royals fans. If you missed any of our conversation there on Kansas City, you can go back and listen on the Odyssey app and get all caught up. Tommy, the Shockers add a coach. Didn't know they were looking for one, but they are. Quincy Acee is stepping away. Josh Eiler. How about that name? Now, that's a name that will be familiar to people, probably, if you're a Big 12 basketball fan, if you know, K-State, KU fan. Josh Eilert's K-State grad, grew up in Kansas, from Osborne. A real interesting last couple of years for him. So he was on Bob Huggins' staff forever. And when Huggy Bear got in all that trouble, Eilert stepped in and became the interim head coach at West Virginia, and then went to Utah to be an assistant. They fired their coach, and the next season he became the interim head coach at Utah. So now he is an assistant coach with Wichita State. I'm sure glad to be just kind of like settled in a little bit here. We might try to get him in here, but what a wild ride it's been for him. And, seemingly a guy with that kind of run and experience, he's going to be very handy for Paul Mills on his staff.
Yeah, I mean, he's had just a crazy couple of years, and has kind of become that guy that you think about when a coach gets fired, he steps in to be the interim head coach. And man, what he did with that West Virginia team a couple of years ago, I mean, they were bad. They were really, really, really bad in the wake of
all the
Bob
players
Huggins.
left when Huggy
All
Bear
the players
got in
left.
trouble.
I mean, like with all the drama with Huggins and all of that, Eilert did a phenomenal job of steadying the ship, ultimately for Darren DeVries to come in. And now DeVries has gone too, going to Indiana. But I mean, Eilert did a really good job of stabilizing things, even though their record didn't indicate it at the time. But he's kind of gotten that reputation of the interim guy that, is the assistant and then comes in and takes over temporarily to steady the ship, until they get a new coach, until whatever program gets a new coach. So I'm sure that for him, it's nice to get into a program that, seems to be pretty stable and no danger of that sort of thing happening. And he gets to come back to the state of Kansas, which is great. I mean, I remember him being at Kansas State. I remember him being on staff there for a season or two before he followed Huggins to West Virginia from Kansas State. And he's done a really good job in his career.
Yeah, it's been an interesting. It's one of those careers that you really like, right? Like it's not traditional. It reminds me of Eric Spoelstra. Remember how he's just like this video coordinator. So sometimes when you're just around it a long time, like you're really you're good at it, right? And you've been around Bob Huggins, and look, I don't know what responsibilities and what roles he'll take on with Paul Mills' staff or anything, but if Quincy Acey, who's been with Mills, they've, known each other. They have all the connections. If he's going to step away, to be able to go get Eilert, who not only is it nice because of the wealth of experience he's built up over the past few years, he's a Kansas guy, right? Like I can almost guarantee you this will be a fun experience for him one way or the other. Like that last couple of years for him, like emotionally and physically, and like has to just be insanely intense. And now you get to come back and try and help redo this thing that does matter to the state of Kansas, right? Like we say this all the time. You might be a K-State fan, you might be a KU fan. Kind of everybody wants the Shockers to be good, right? It's just people rally the Shockers a little bit, unless you're playing head to head, and I get all that. But I think he'll help them. I think it's a sneaky good thing for this program. I think Paul Mills needs the help. Every coach in America needs the help right now. Like you have to now acclimate basically an entire new roster in a summer. That's almost every team across the country is doing this. Here's a bunch of new faces. Hope they fit together because you only have a couple of months to get that figured out.
And it's very nearly a brand new coaching staff too. I mean, remember PJ Cousinard is on staff now. He replaced TJ Cleveland. So Cousinard is returning to Wichita State. You've got Josh Eilert returning to the state of Kansas, joining the staff. So not only is it a brand new roster, but by and large, it's a brand new coaching staff too.
You're going to have people bought in on that staff to what it means to be Shocker basketball and to be good and to do all of those things. And, we'll see. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the players, and do the players all fit together, and, all of these things. And so I think that we're to the point. I think it's fair to be excited about next season. Expectations are going to be impossible. I think you can look at it and just say, like, this wasn't one of those years for Memphis, right, where they just have acquired all this talent. This wasn't the year Memphis basically went and poached all the great players from the rest of the league. Does that create an opportunity for Wichita State? I mean, I think it does. I think it absolutely does. Now, Wichita State has to turn everybody over. I don't even know, like, how do you set expectations in the American Athletic Conference this year? Like, I don't vote on that stuff for the AAC. I mean, who knows? Like, how do you even do that? How do you even sit here and say, you know what? This is the team favored to win this league this year. I mean, I have absolutely no idea.
I don't think you can put any stock into it, even for those who do get votes. And honestly, even the coaches, when the coaches will do their preseason polls, how are the coaches going to know, like, what the other teams in the conference?
At least they probably know the players, maybe.
Some of them probably, but probably not in the players playing on that particular team and how it all works together. I mean, they can probably give a little bit more of an educated guess than the media can, but the media doesn't know. I mean, it's just a shot in the dark as we're putting together preseason polls and talking about how teams are going to be ranked in the preseason and all of that. I mean, it just is impossible. It's impossible to be able to give any kind of, decent look at what might happen or might not happen. It's impossible.
So just looking at Memphis does have, they've got 4-star transfers. Of course, they got Doug McDaniel. But I don't think they're replacing what is outgoing, at least in my opinion. Danger isn't going to be there. Haggerty's not going to be there. Tyreek Smith, we saw go to K-State. So it's been a little strange, but like, I don't think they'll be as good, although they did a good job. They got basically players from, all over the map. They've done it a bunch of different ways. So I'm just looking at team rankings here. They've got the leg up right now. Wichita State is 9 out of 9. So according to 24/7, Wichita State's 9 out of 9. Now, that's mostly because the players that they brought in are like not in the rankings in a lot of cases. Some of the younger players, they're also not counting, and maybe we don't have official signings on some of the newer transfers here to the list I'm looking at. Although I don't think it's going to change that much. So I don't believe that. I don't buy that. I don't subscribe to that. But again, we're trying anything we can to find, create, understand expectations. I think it's all up in the air, which is why I like bringing in a coach like Josh Eilert, which is why I like bringing in PJ Cousinard. We'll see what, Cousinard has a learning curve here, right? Like to be a high-level college assistant basketball coach, but he's got connections to these players, which you like. Eilert has had to be a head coach now in the Big 12 back-to-back years in really rocky situations. So, like, almost no matter what happens this year, it's not like it's going to be too big to look down the bench and have that guy be like, you know what, it's going to be fine. Like, here's how we navigate this. West Virginia was a mess when he had to take over because of the circumstances. Utah just fired a coach, right? Like that's not going to get too big. So I think, it just makes a lot of sense to have him here. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he wanted to be here.
You know who it reminds me of a little bit as far as Josh Eilert is concerned? It's not exactly similar, but it's kind of in the same realm as when Isaac Brown hired Billy Kennedy. Remember when Billy Kennedy?
Exactly what I thought the same thing.
And Billy Kennedy had years of head coaching experience, and Josh Eilert and Billy Kennedy don't have the same career path at all. Like I'm not trying to say that they are, because Billy Kennedy coached as a head coach for a long time, and Isaac Brown was a rookie head coach, had never done it before. Isaac Brown and Paul Mills are not the same either as their career trajectory is concerned, but having experience, head coaching experience on your bench to be able to look down and if you need advice or if you need somebody to, check in with, I'm sure that Paul Mills appreciates having that. And not only having Eilert's experience in the Big 12, but also having PJ Cousinard's experience with some of these players and being able to relate to them, I think is invaluable as well. It's not a knock on the guys that Eilert and Cousinard are replacing, but I think by and large, this coaching staff is going to be better this year than it has been in Paul Mills's entire tenure at Wichita State.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. I don't know if it'll be better, but I think it'll be very helpful this year. I think it'll be very helpful to have. Will it be better? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I know that I like I know that I like why both of these guys are here. At least what I assume would be the reasons that they're here. I like both of those things. Boy, I hope these players can buy in and fit together. I mean, we're wondering that about everybody, right? Like that's the thing that's different for me this offseason than I think the last 2 or 3 is it's not only the Shockers dealing with this year. It's every team just about across the country is dealing with that same thing. They have to now acclimate. I mean, can you think of a team that's even got like 60% of a starting lineup back? I mean, I'm sure there are some, but even like the big school, like
Houston, I don't know if Houston has 60%. They've got a couple of guys that are returning. They've got the one dude, what's his name? Uzan, withdrew from the draft and he's coming back and he'll be on the team, but that's not 60% of their starting 5.
I don't think they got 60% coming back. I don't know. Like, and again, there will be like that exists. I know it does, but it's not anybody that you can just think about. Pretty much everybody jumped into the portal or went to the NBA draft this year. Like, that's everybody else moved around because the money's too big to, to not try it essentially. And, that's a conversation for another segment, but when we look at this stuff, like CBS put out their top 25 and one, they've got Houston 2 because they just lost a player. Who did they, somebody jumped away from them. I can't remember who it was. Do you know, like, and I've lost track. BYU is their 3rd ranked team right now. BYU. They returned 4 of their top 10 scorers. I don't know if they were all starters. Maybe they're the exception here. Their 26-year-old team that from a year ago is maybe they're all coming back. Maybe that's why they're up there. Maybe they're the exception to the rule we're talking about. But no, Purdue, they're up there. So I'm looking at these rankings: Purdue, UConn, Florida. I don't know about starters, but a lot of them are returning players. So that's why. I mean, that's why you get those rankings. But I'll bet it doesn't finish that way, right? Some of these teams are going to gel right away and be really good. All right, we'll come back. We got another hour of Sports Daily. Keep it here. It's all Brockton Caster. Don't go away.
This is
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar. breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another hour of Sports Daily here on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Kester with you. Thanks for being a part of the show today, whether you're listening to us on KFH, whether you're watching us on the video streams, 12 News Connected, Facebook, YouTube, X, or listening to us on the Odyssey app. We appreciate it. Great deal. Thank you. Max is here. Max is watching hockey. Just trying to, load it in. You think this is the year Canada breaks the streak, Max? Edmonton, I assume you think will get through there. They're gonna be able to.
Edmonton will beat Florida. It'll probably take them 7 games, but Connor McDavid, represented by Robert Gordon Orr, will not be denied.
Represents that his agent?
Yes, Bobby Orr bought Bob Wolf's thing so he wouldn't let players get ripped off like he was.
Okay. Way over our heads here, Max. But Max has got an eye on hockey. We're watching the NBA playoffs here. We've got Terry Bradshaw weighing in on Aaron Rodgers, which we can get into in the next segment.
I love that. I love that story. I can't wait to talk about that.
A little bit of fun there. That's you can imagine what Terry Bradshaw thinks of all this. We hit on the Royals. We may do a little bit more of that as we make our way through. It's kind of that time. It's kind of that time. We want to say thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of this program. As I went out and crammed in a quick 18 yesterday, Tommy.
Wow.
Weather was perfect. Got it done in about 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And it was cart path only, I'm assuming.
Cart path only, and
we
we
were able
played
to
that.
play in 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Yeah, shot a 94.
All right.
Best round of my year. And I bring all that up only to say I made it to 17. So I bring all that up to bring up the Wichita Open. So the Crestview, if you haven't been out there, if you haven't seen it, and you're going to head out there for the Wichita Open, is doing it a little bit different there on 17. So you know how people probably that listen to this show are going to know what we're talking about when we talk about the Open, the massive towering grandstands of 17. That's not going to be that way this year. They spread them out. And so they're shorter and they run sort of down the sides of the fairway. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's not going to be as hot as the tall towers get. I think you'll have a much, 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 much better view of the playing of the hole. And I don't know how the party aspect of that will look, but it will be good. I assume there'll be just, more drink stations or whatever they're going to do to spread that out. But it's going to be really, really cool. It looks awesome back there. I think that's going to be something that people really enjoy this year.
How'd you do on 17?
I think I bogeyed. Okay. I was on the fringe. I didn't get. I would have. But yeah, I was fringe on my tee shot. But on the other side of the green, so a long way to go. So
one of my favorite things to do is when the grandstands are up, and it's going to be different now that it's not super tall. But one of my favorite things to do is when the grandstands are up and I'm playing the course, to use the grandstands as like a backboard.
Yeah.
And ricochet it off the grandstand onto the green, because you get a free drop if you end up like going into the grandstands or under the grandstands, whatever. I do appreciate that.
We played the whites. I should say that we played the whites. Now, that was it. I've not done that this year. Guy I played with, who well, gave you a hard time about this, but we played the whites. It does change that course for me.
Yeah, I don't mind. If you're a lot of times, I think people should play a tee closer than what they actually do.
Yeah,
depending on your level of skill.
I just have always played the blues for no reason whatsoever. No idea why. Just have. And it definitely changes the course. What's interesting for me is you guys give me a hard time, rightfully so, about my driver. I have like a 15 or 20-year-old driver. But it plays really well to Crestview North. Because you need a lot of tee shots to go about 235, which is about what I hit that driver. So now when I was up to the whites, I was like, oh, okay, hang on a minute. I might actually be in trouble with my drive here. So that was an interesting change for sure. But the course is in great shape, even after it was a little spongy yesterday. But thanks to Crestview. Can't wait to get out there for the Wichita Open. Can't wait for everybody to come see us out there at the Wichita Open. Say hi. We'll be out there broadcasting live Thursday and Friday. So that should be a lot of fun.
We're going to give away some chances to play golf out at Crestview in the month of June. So we've got that coming up. That'll be fun. Their member guest tournament starts tomorrow, which is always like the big spectacle of the year for members. So they've got that going on this weekend. So it's a busy time for the folks over there at Crestview.
Yeah, that's not something I'm quite ready for. I have a hard time, as do you and anybody with young kids, with I'm going to go play a round and I might take 3.5 hours. The member guest that's a big old
It's a big commitment. You've got 3 days in a row, and you're probably talking 6-hour rounds when you've got everybody out there and the drinks are flowing and they've got a bunch of, fun activities and different things like that. It's a spectacle. It's a lot of fun. It's been a few years since I've done it. As soon as I had kids, I kind of retired from the member guests, but it's a big deal out there.
Let's get people. I didn't know we were able to talk about the giveaway yet. We're not doing this today, but just to prime people up to kind of stay tuned. Would be next week when we're starting this? So what are we able? We've been talking about this for a while, and I know Tommy's been working behind the scenes on these details. But what are we doing in June for the listeners?
Yeah, so we talk about Crestview every day here on this show, and we have for quite some time. And we figured, hey, it'd be a good idea to try to get some listeners to be able to go and play the course. And so starting next week, we're going to give away a round of golf for 2 every single week here on this show. So what are there, 4 weeks in the month of June? So we'll give away 4 different rounds for 2 out at Crestview. So we'll do that starting next week.
That'll be really, really cool. We're looking forward to giving everybody a chance to get out there and check that out. So make sure next week you're on guard there to get that. Also, thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up here, reminding us that it's a Wednesday and not I don't even know what day I thought it was, but it is a Wednesday. Thanks, Prairie Fire. Get us on our toes. It's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday if you're just joining us for this second hour. So, maybe you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, getting ready to go to work. Just throw on that Hawaiian and it'll make your day just a little bit brighter. Just a little bit brighter. All right. So coming up, we're going to hit on this Aaron Rodgers, Terry Bradshaw. Like every day that this goes on, it's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I don't know.
Are you surprised by it? Because I'm not surprised by it at all.
No, I'm not surprised that Bradshaw feels that way.
No, I'm not surprised that it's been a circus, because it always is. It absolutely always is with Aaron Rodgers. Nobody should be surprised by that.
I just can't believe the Steelers are putting up with this. I really can't. That organization, it just doesn't seem – it seems like something the Jets would do, right? But not what the Steelers would do. And I'm just surprised by that. Kirby Smart sounding off about the transfer portal. We might get into that and digging into why it's so difficult to come up with something to fix it, really. Like, to fix it if you think it needs fixing, and I think everybody thinks it needs fixing, to the level of fixing is probably where people disagree to some degree. But man, this Wild West just doesn't seem like it needs to be there. So we'll get into some of what is going on there. These meetings that are happening keep generating headlines. We talked about the CFP throughout the week and a little bit last week, but now this transfer portal conversation is getting to the forefront. And when Kirby Smart's the one leading the conversation, probably everyone's going to listen. That's just the way it is. And I don't know what the solution. That one to me is the most challenging and the hardest one to solve. We'll talk about why that is later in this hour as well. We can get back into the Royals a little bit this hour. Your calls, your commentary, all welcome. Let's give away some HTO on the way out here. We'll get some sunshine. We're going to get some iced tea weather by the end of the week here. So get in there, check it out. 26 flavors to choose from. You can get a free one on us right now. All you got to do is text the keyword TTEA to the short code 20357. That'll get you a free iced tea, more than 26 flavors to choose from. These are good for East Wichita, West Wichita, and Derby. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply as we continue on here on a Wednesday. Quick reminder, the Pacers win last night, so you're looking like a Pacers Thunder NBA Finals could be forthcoming. We'll see Oklahoma City tonight try and I believe wrap that up. They play.
Yeah.
Let me just double check.
They got game 4. It was it's a 3-1 lead for the Thunder.
It is a 7:30 start time here for game 5. They have the 3-1 lead, so they'll be going into game 5 a little bit later. But the Thunder are 8.5-point favorites. We'll see if they can get it wrapped up, or maybe Anthony Edwards can flex and show why he's considered one of, if not the best players in the world. I just don't think they're going to have enough, certainly to win 3 games, but we'll see if the Thunder can get that wrapped up as the Pacers win last night.
I'm not going to be shocked if the T-Wolves do get the win tonight. I think that would be,
they got to do it in Oklahoma City though.
I think that might be on the table. They're not going to win the series, but at least to push it to a game 6. I wouldn't be overly shocked if the T-Wolves can at least steal one in OKC.
Thunder Pacers. I'm still waiting to see what that ticket would have paid. Thunder Pacers NBA Finals. But that's coming too. All right. When we return, latest on Aaron Rodgers. What does Terry Bradshaw think? We'll get into the transfer portal latest. That's all coming in this hour of Sports Daily. Stick around.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Another segment of Sports Daily here on a Wednesday. All right, Terry Bradshaw, Tommy, is fired up about this Aaron Rodgers situation. The quotes are entertaining, to say the least. What did he? I mean, he's fed up like the rest of us. Like, what are we doing here?
Basically. I mean, he just went in during this radio interview about calling it a joke and all of that.
That's a joke to me. This is just a joke. What are you going to do? Bring him in here for 1 year? Are you kidding me? That guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark and whisper to the gods out there.
That's
he's
amazing.
Not having it.
That is amazing.
Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers represents the feelings of probably 90% of America on this. Look, when this all started, I thought, man, Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh makes a ton of sense, right? I felt like you can make a case that he's an upgrade over Russell Wilson. There's just a lot there, right? Aaron Rodgers was not great last year in New York, but he was okay, but probably an upgrade for them. And then here we are on May 28th. The draft has come and gone. They've done nothing else at the position. I just like, it's amazing that this organization, I guess maybe it's not amazing because you have an organization that is so good at everything except for some reason, doing anything at quarterback. They tried with Kenny Pickett. Bradshaw talked about that. He was mad. He said they didn't give him enough of a chance. They never tried to fix the offensive line. He's correct about that. They've had a brutal offensive line going back to Ben Roethlisberger when he would just get shelled back there as a statue late in his career. It's like they don't put an emphasis on the most important position in sports.
I think that the biggest thing is that, it's surprising to me that the front office and that Mike Tomlin is tolerating this, they're tolerating this waiting
what
game,
choice
right?
do they have right
Well,
now?
I mean, they could go and find another solution. And I don't think it's Mason Rudolph. I don't think that it's the guys that they have in house. No offense to Will Howard. I don't think Will Howard is going to be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, this coming season. I would be shocked if that happened.
They don't have Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, but there are a couple of other options. They could go trade for Kirk Cousins if they wanted to. I mean, there are some other things out there that they could do. Or I guess at the end of the day, they could ride along with Mason Rudolph. The problem is with the Steelers, and I'm sure this is where Terry Bradshaw is coming from. They have allowed themselves to get into this predicament.
Right.
This was easily avoided if you are Mike Tomlin in the front office with the Steelers. You're more aggressive this offseason in finding a new quarterback, whether that's through free agency, whether that's through the draft. They didn't do hardly any of that. Yes, they did draft Will Howard, but they didn't use a pick early on a quarterback that they felt like could come in right away. Even the Saints did that, not even knowing if Derek Carr was going to be back or not. They at least drafted Tyler Shook in the second round, and who knows if he's going to do anything or not, but they at least had a contingency plan at quarterback. Really, all the Steelers have done, they've just sat back, sitting on their hands, waiting for Aaron Rodgers to dictate the quarterback situation for that organization. That's the problem. That's the failure, is that they were not able to take matters in their own hands. They are now at the mercy of a guy who loves this. He loves the attention. He loves being courted and, having everybody fawn over him and what's he going to do and where's he going to go and when's he going to make his decision. He thrives on that. And that's a failing of the Steelers organization for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, that's the part that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, it's not that surprising that they don't have a clear answer at quarterback. They haven't for a long time. What's surprising is they're letting this guy do that to that organization. Again, I said this, that's a Jets thing to do. Like, what are you doing? That isn't what the Steelers do. The blue collar Steelers. Like, what are we doing here? And Aaron Rodgers could still be good. But like, the reality is, like, he's not going to be good enough to win a Super Bowl. And he's not going to play probably more than a season. And I think that's Terry Bradshaw's point as much as anything. Like, he's only going to be there for a year. Like, what are you doing here? I'll tell you this. I think Will Howard will be more impactful than Shook. Will Howard is a decent flyer. I've always thought he kind of looked like an NFL quarterback in the right situation. I don't know that the Steelers are the right situation, but they did just trade for DK Metcalf. And, I don't know what their line is looking like now. I know they've made a little bit of progress there the last couple of years, but Will Howard's not a bad flyer. It's just that's a team that is in the playoffs every year. That can't be your only answer, because if you loved Will Howard that much, you wouldn't have waited until the 6th round to take him. I don't, and like, to be fair to Howard, like it's a perfect situation for him because he's very likely going to get a chance to play this year there. And I do think he has a chance to be a guy in the NFL, but that's like that's not your plan though. When you're the Steelers, you let Fields go, you let Wilson go. You haven't done anything with Rodgers yet. What is so bad about giving Rodgers an ultimatum and saying, we better have your decision before the NFL draft. If we don't have it, you can go fly a kite.
Yeah, they needed to do that well before the NFL draft. Like, they needed to do that when free agency started. They needed to say, look, we want you. We would like you to be our quarterback, but you have until the NFL draft, or you have until this date to make your decision. And if not, we're going to go in a different direction. And they, to my knowledge, didn't ever do that. And so now you're in this predicament where it's a month past the draft and they didn't really do. I mean, yeah, they drafted Will Howard, but it wasn't like they really invested in anybody else at quarterback. And now you've got Mason Rudolph, who's been a career backup. You've got Skylar Thompson, who's been a career backup. And now you've got Will Howard, who's an unproven rookie. That's your quarterback room. And they have let now this circus of Aaron Rodgers dominate the headlines. And now you've got the most famous and most successful quarterback in the franchise's history, who has never shied away from saying what he feels, being openly critical, not about Aaron Rodgers necessarily. I mean, he was a little bit, but more about the way the organization has handled the Aaron Rodgers situation. And he's spot on. I totally agree with Terry Bradshaw. Why in the world are the Steelers tolerating this? If I'm the front office, if I'm their GM, if I'm Mike Tomlin, even, I'm picking up the phone and I'm saying, we're done. Like, go find another team. We're done. We're not doing this. We would rather go and lose 13 or 14 games next year with the 3 guys we have in our quarterback room than let you jack us around for another couple of months before you finally make your decision, whatever it is.
It's just, there's no way that this ends other than this will be Tomlin's last year. It's going to be a disaster. It's not going to work. They're going to butt heads, and Tomlin will go have his Andy Reid moment and go be a great coach at his next stop and for the next chapter. I mean, to me, it's just right there. It's so obvious. What is the best case scenario now for bringing in Rodgers at this point? He clearly doesn't want to be there that bad. Your best case scenario is all right, fine, I'll play another year of football. This 42-year-old guy, you're begging him to come play. What is the best case scenario for the Steelers?
And I know a lot of Steelers fans. I can't imagine any of the Steelers fan base is a fan of this, right? I would imagine even before the guy potentially signs with the team, you've probably got the vast majority of the fan base already turned against you. That's not the way that you want to go into a new location. At least when he went to the Jets, and there was drama and a circus surrounding that, but at least the fan base initially was really excited about it. It was, hey, we've got Rodgers coming in now, and he wants to be here. We're going to build an offense around him. Of course, we all know what happened, and he only played 4 snaps before he went down for the entire year. But at the time, the fan base wanted him, and he wanted to be there. And it was it seemed like on paper, this really, really positive.
And I still think it could have been.
This is completely different because if I was a Steelers fan, I would absolutely think this guy keeps yanking our chain and playing with us. And you know what? Screw him. I don't want him. I don't want him on my team if this is the way it's going to be. Go somewhere else. Go retire. Go do whatever it is you need to do. But you're not coming to Pittsburgh. And I would imagine a majority of the fan base probably feels that way at this point.
I don't know. There's got to be some desperation too, though, because that's why this is even happening. Like this is a team that makes the playoffs every year. I mean, they've been a quarterback away from doing something in the postseason for how long now? Like they're always in the mix. They just have nothing at quarterback. So I think there's probably desperation, not just among the front office, but probably among fans, because what's the alternative now? And this is why Aaron Rodgers has him by the you-know-what. Like, what's the alternative? And that's why the Steelers are putting up with this, because they don't have a backup plan. This has been their plan, it feels like, the entire offseason, which is so foolish, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Just run Russell Wilson out there again next year versus this. Right? Like if we knew how this was going to play out and it would be May 28th and you still don't have a decision from Aaron Rodgers and you're the Steelers, wouldn't you rather just have Russell Wilson or Justin
100%,
Fields?
100%.
And I'm not blaming him for the beginning, because I do think Aaron Rodgers, even if he's what he was last year, gives them a better chance than both of those guys. But you have to have that conversation right at the beginning. Hey, we want you here. We are even going to let these other guys go because we think you can make us a better team. But that conversation has to be had a long time ago with a very clear, not waiting around. You can either sign now or you can go fly a kite, go do something else. And Rodgers, like what is Rodgers going to do? He's 42 years old. He's got all the money in the world. He's going to just hang and chill and do what he like.
But don't you think
we haven't seen this story before?
The thing about it is, don't you think he loves this?
Yeah, he probably likes the attention. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care.
He loves the pursuit. He loves the, will you or won't you? He loves the fact that he's dominating the conversations in a really slow time in the NFL right now. All the headlines are about him. He absolutely eats that up. So why in the world would he want to make a decision right now? He's the top story on all of the debate shows. We're talking about him right now. Every sports talk radio show in America is talking about
May
what Aaron Rodgers
28th helps,
do.
right?
Well, absolutely. Like he is, for all the criticisms I have of him, and there are many of them, he's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. And this is very well calculated. Everything, he goes on Pat McAfee, and then, he's at a festival and he's doing a Q&A, and somebody asks him about playing for the Saints and he shuts that down. And then somebody else asks him about if he's going to play for Pittsburgh. And his answer is, we'll see what happens. Like, he loves this. He absolutely eats this up. And so honestly, as critical as I am about Aaron Rodgers, I don't fault him for eating this up. Like, and because he knows what he's doing, he's calculated. It's more critical of the Steelers that they are tolerating this.
He certainly thinks he is the smartest person. Whether he is or not, maybe he could be. But yeah, I don't. It just like I could see this. The Jets. This has Jets written all over it. Like there are franchises where like, oh yeah, that I could see that train wreck coming. But the Steelers.
Yeah.
What?
Like I can see the Jets, I can see the Raiders being a
the
team
Giants,
like that.
even
Giants,
like
there are those teams. I mean, even to an extent, the Cowboys a little bit. Like there are some organizations where there's some tomfoolery going on, and you can kind of look at the organization and be like, "Yep, I understand why that's going on." The Steelers are not one of them. That's why it's been so surprising that they've been allowing this to happen.
Well, not normally they're not, right? Like it's not their MO. That's what's been. And that's why maybe it's good that Terry Bradshaw comes out and is like, this is nonsense, because it just is like, that is as gold standard an NFL franchise as there is. They're always good. They're consistent. They're loyal. They're all of these things. And they're going to jump into the 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes and let him string them along. Again, it's not like we haven't seen this before. We've literally seen it every year since he left Green Bay, basically. Like this is the same thing. So maybe they've known this all along. Maybe there have been behind the scenes conversations where he's like, you know what? I don't want to do any of this offseason stuff. I'm 42 years old. I'll sign with you guys later because I just maybe there have been clear conversations and the Steelers just can't really talk about it. I suppose that's a possibility. It's about the only possibility, though, that makes sense, as they are having very honest conversations. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to do any of that, because we know he doesn't want to do any of that. He's 40. I wouldn't either if I were him, by the way. Like, I get that part of it. But can you not just sign him and say he's hurt or something? Like, you sign him and say he's got a sore hamstring, so we're going to rest him a little bit. Like, I just feels like he's about to pull the rug out from underneath him and be like, nah, I'm going to retire. And maybe that's not a bad thing for the Steelers. I would like to see Will Howard end up starting some games there. Look, they're quarterbacks on the roster right now. We have a lot of local flair here. Skylar Thompson, Will Howard, and Mason Rudolph. K-State, Oklahoma State. So that's kind of interesting. Skylar Thompson, I mean, honestly, like at this point, would you rather have Mason Rudolph or Skylar Thompson start a game for you? Both those guys have had pretty similar openings. I do think as it stands, though, Will Howard is the most interesting of those players. When Will Howard had that great season at K-State, I was like, he looks like a pro. And he did pro-type things at Ohio State. He's a pretty interesting late-round flyer quarterback. He's at least as interesting as Shedeur Sanders. Don't you think? Like, Shedur's got a much more difficult path as a 5th-round pick to get starting reps than Will Howard will as a 6th-round pick. And I'm not even sure which one's in a better situation.
Yeah, but both quarterbacks are in pretty wide open quarterback rooms going into this season.
That's what I mean. As 2 late-round guys who are going to have opportunities, I think Howard's opportunity is even better because Shedeur has some other decent players there. He's like decent NFL-level starters we've seen that he's got to compete with, and all the other stuff he's set up for himself. Will Howard's just kind of there.
I don't think it's the wrong thing at all for the Steelers to do to see what they've got in Will Howard. I mean, especially if they don't end up going with Aaron Rodgers or Rodgers doesn't go with them. I would definitely give Will Howard some reps and see if he can get it done. I think the likeliest possibility is that Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback for the Steelers if Aaron Rodgers does not end up there. They signed him in free agency. It's not a ton of money, but there's enough of an investment there with Rudolph that I think that they would like to see him be the QB1 as the backup plan if Rodgers does not end up with the organization. But I don't think it's the wrong thing at all to do to see what Will Howard can give you, whether that's in training camp, in preseason games, whatever that looks like. I think it's probably those 2 guys. I'm not sure that they're going to fly at all with Skylar Thompson as far as giving him an opportunity to be the starting quarterback. I think it will probably end up being Rudolph or Howard if Rodgers is not part of the team.
Yeah, Rudolph has the familiarity for sure. I agree with that. I think I might like Skylar Thompson better than Mason Rudolph, but you're probably right. Will Howard, if they don't sign Rodgers, how about some bold predictions on May 28th, just because we can? If the Steelers don't sign Aaron Rodgers, Will Howard will be starting games for the Steelers by week 6. He'll be starting a game.
That's a pretty bold prediction right there. Yeah. I'm not sure that I'm
May 28th. I'm
not going to roll with that.
Got your Hawaiian on today. Let's get wild with it.
Again, I don't think it's a bad idea for them to see what they have in Will Howard. I'm just not sure that he's going to end up being the starting quarterback in week 6.
Well, I make that prediction. It's not like, to me, it's not even that bold. It's because I feel like Mason Rudolph will come out of the gates and struggle a little bit, like he does most of his career. All right. Let's look at the the transfer portal. Kirby Smart talking about it a little bit, and then maybe go back to the Royals here in our last full segment of the first couple hours here on Sports Daily. So stick around. It's all Brockton Caster. It's a Wednesday. We're coming right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, here we go on Sports Daily. It's Wednesday. We're glad to be here with you, and we are having some fun on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, much to the much to the chagrin of fun haters like Rick. We finally got Tommy converted. I fully expect now the wardrobe. Tommy, maybe I'll text your wife Tell her you need 3 or 4 more good Hawaiians to go find you a couple.
Yeah,
my wife
I'm
wife
good.
finally caved. It took years. This was a gift from her. This one right here.
Yeah, let's not get carried away. This is an every once in a while type thing. I know you're happy about it, and rightfully so. I didn't want to be just a total Scrooge all the time, but this is not an every week thing for me.
I'm telling you, you're going to walk around the office today and people are going to be like, "Oh, Tommy, that is a really nice shirt. Tommy, I love that shirt. Wow, Tommy, what a fun shirt." And next week we're going to see another one. And then you're going to have a closet full like I do. And you start a trend. We got to be trendsetters here on Sports Daily. That's what we do. Let's talk college football here. Kirby Smart is the top dog right now in college football. I think that's fair to say. And according to him, the most important issue right now in college football is the transfer portal window and how many there are. I think more specifically, here's what he said. The coaches are all meeting right now. The biggest decision that needs to be made in college football right now by far is when is the portal window and is it 1 or 2? That's not being decided by us today. A lot of people don't even know how it's being decided and who is deciding it. So, yeah, I think if you asked any coach in America what their number one issue right now is, it's the portal and the chaos of the portal. That shouldn't surprise us. I don't know who's going to decide that. I don't know in what order it will be decided with all the other thousands of things that seem to be needing decisions at this point, but it is one. And I don't think what he's saying is even too much to ask, Tommy. And to me, it's surprising. Like, why is it not regulated? Not in the sense that you can't transfer, because that's never going to hold up legally. Like that part of it, you can just like there's no chance they'll get taken to court, whatever. But I don't think it like, why is it so difficult to say, all right, here's the window. You can't transfer outside of this window unless your coach leaves or whatever the extenuating circumstances. And if teams tamper, the penalties will be so severe that they won't tamper. And Kirby Smart went on to say, like, what do you think's going to happen if we put this thing in April? What do you think's going to happen in January, February, March? So I think for him, reading between the lines, he would like an early window, right? Somewhere very close to the end of the season, and that to just be the window and be done. That's it, right? It shouldn't be before the championship game is played. If you want to stop the tampering, I would still think that there are the mechanisms in place to punish teams, not players, but punish teams that tamper, right? Like if you're a coach and you're in contact with a player for another team outside of the transfer portal window, you're done for the year. You can't coach that year, right? Like if you really want to put an end to it, put an end to it. Kick them out of football. They'll stop if you make the penalty so severe that they won't do it, right? So I think some of this, like, it doesn't seem like it should be that complicated.
Every professional sport has a free agency window.
Right.
And it happens pretty much when the season is done. And then the window closes before you start the season again. Like that just happens in every professional sport. The NFL has their free agency period happen after the Super Bowl, and teams are not allowed to contact free agents until the new league year starts. And then you can actually have official deals that are signed and all of that. It's a very common and standard thing on the professional side. I don't know why there's been such a hesitation to do something like this in the world of college athletics. And I know that one of the arguments for a long time has been, well, we're talking about academics too. And, these players are being, not being able to get to their new schools in time to start the semester and all of that, which I think is bogus. You can totally find ways to make that work. So why not open a window the week after the national championship game is played in the middle of January and have it run until, I don't know, the beginning of February or the middle of February? Have a month of the transfer portal open. It's the free agency window basically for college football. And then you're just done. And you know what your roster is going to look like in the spring, in time for the spring games that these teams do and all of that. And then you don't have to worry about players leaving programs before the national championship game is coached and played and all of that. I just don't understand what the hesitation is on this.
Well, and if kids need to finish their classes in the semester, finish your classes, and maybe you miss the spring. Maybe that's a part of the decision process, right? Like if you can't afford to withdraw and move and take that semester off for whatever reason, right? Just finish your semester and then go. But I agree. Like, it cannot happen before the season is done. That is a problem for college basketball. Watching Will Wade coach a team while he's going to be the coach somewhere else the next day, like, that's weird. You can't do that stuff. You can't do it with players. Make it after the season. I don't even know how long. You can make it longer, right? Make it January and February. Make it 2 months. You get 2 months of this, January and February, and that's it. Like, no more movement unless a coach leaves, whatever the rules are, right, that allow, because you're not saying players have to sit out a year. You're not changing the spirit of a transfer. You're just changing the rules in which it's regulated. And I don't think there's any legal disputes there, right? There are extenuating circumstances. Those can clearly be laid out, but you do it over a period of time that's determined, and you make the tampering penalty so harsh that people won't do it, right? Like that goes back for as long as time. How do you keep somebody? Why do we even have laws? Well, you make the punishment so severe, people don't want to break them, right? Like that's pretty much, that's how that works, right? So if you tamper, if you're an assistant coach and you tamper, that trickles up. At least, at minimum, you're done. You're forfeiting games. Like, what is the harshest penalty you can come up with? If you really don't want them to do it, then make the penalty so harsh they can't do it or they won't do it, and solve this stuff. So this story gets interesting. Brandon Marcello reporting here that one of the reasons they can't get clarity on this is because there's still a bigger picture power struggle right now with who gets to set the rules. And I think the SEC and the Big Ten still want more power, more weighted power in decision-making to come up with this stuff. And because of that power struggle, we can't get decisions on other stuff. That goes above my head, honestly. I don't understand, though, why there wouldn't be a 100% vote on a single portal window with harsher tampering penalties. Because I haven't talked to any coaches that don't hate both of those things. And it's one of those things, too, I think it gets to the point where if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Because everybody's doing it. You at least have to get to the point where not everybody's doing it, right? I don't know why there isn't. Why is there not a 100% yes vote on that? Who likes 2 transfer portal windows? There's not a coach in the country that wants that.
Yeah, I think that's the big question, is who can make that decision and who's going to be able to, make that happen all across the college athletic landscape. It's probably going to have to fall into the laps of Congress, as they're working on trying to figure out how to reform college athletics in general. It's probably going to have to fall to them, because what governing body has shown itself to be capable in being able to actually institute?
Yeah, and I don't think the government. This isn't their purview, though. Like, because it would be their purview.
Has the NCAA shown the capability?
No. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be the NCAA. I don't think it'll be.
It can't be each individual conference, because each individual conference can make their own rules regarding
right. They have to be able to get together as the power conferences. That's the division of power, though, that I think is holding things up. I mean, at the end of the day, the NCAA is appointed by these guys anyway. Like, these sorts of rules, they would be enforced by the NCAA, I think, but not created by the NCAA. Somebody needs to create the rule here. And I don't care if it's the SEC. I don't care if it's the Big Ten. I don't care if it's the Big 12. I don't care if it's the ACC. Just come up with a rule and everybody vote on it. Here's the transfer portal window. We're going to make it January 1st to February 28th. All in favor, say aye, right? And everybody can just say, yeah, that sounds fine. We're not going to do one in April, because that's where you get all the tampering crap. And then, again, this is just football. It's different than basketball. But this is our window. Here's when you can transfer. We're not going to say you can't transfer. You can transfer. That's where you get into some legal challenges. But if you do it, it has to be in this window, except for these set of circumstances that would allow you to do it as a player specifically, because whatever, you're hurt, your coach left, whatever. Otherwise, you got to go then, and you can't go another time. If you do, you have to sit out a year. Those are the rules that you could probably enforce without having to go, because they're self-created rules, and they're not. I don't know that there'd be like antitrust issues there. You're not telling these kids they can't transfer. You're not telling these kids they can't earn. You're just saying you can only do it in this amount of time, and I think that'd be fine. I don't even know. Like, I'd be curious to know what the players think of that too, by the way. Like, we never get players' thoughts. There's not like a union, so it's hard to get a, but do players like this? I know their agents and their representatives like this because they can use it as leverage, but do the players really like this? Do they like not knowing? I don't know that I would if I were a player.
I mean, I'm sure that the players wouldn't mind continuing with the 2 windows, because they're young and maybe they don't know what they want to do in December, but they might know what they want to do in April.
The window can't be December. That's so stupid.
I'm just telling you, like, that may be not pushback, because I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, the players are given options. They've got options on when they want to enter the portal. So if they don't enter it in December, then they get another chance later on in the spring. So right now, the current system benefits the players. Going to 1 window, that doesn't benefit them, but that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. This stuff is all so hard. How long do you think this is going to take? Like, when do we look at this and say, all right, this is the system in which we play college athletics, college football more specifically?
And I don't know. Are we ever going to get to that point where?
Yeah, we are. I think we are, because eventually the legal stuff is going to play out and players are going to get paid and there's going to be revenue share and all that stuff's going to happen. 3 years? I don't know that when did all this start? 2 years ago? I always said 5 years when it started. Are we going into our 3rd year of the chaos? I think 3rd year. Yeah. So 2 more years, that seems ambitious. I don't know that we're going to be there in 2 years. It's crazy. It's crazy to see the Georgia coach not like it. Georgia should be at the forefront of this, but they've got a certain set of finances that they're dealing with too. It's wild times. All right, we'll come back. A little more Sports Daily for you as we roll through Wednesday. Don't go away.